Hello, everyone. Welcome to our cultural sharing program or PowerPoint presentation. We are from the sixth group or group six, and we are going to be talking about. Next slide, please. We are going to be talking about Indonesian and Malaysian traditional houses. Okay, next slide. There are many traditional houses, some in Indonesia, some in Malaysia, and we're going to talk about some in Indonesia and some in Malaysia. Okay. The first one we're going to be talking about is the Gadang house atau Rumah Gadang. And the Gadang house is the traditional house of the Minangkabau people, and it can be found widely in the West Sumatra region. Another name for Gadang house is Rumah Bagonjong or Bagonjong house. The Rumah Gadang holds the philosophy of being a home for an extended family, a place for deliberation, a venue for ceremonies, and a place to take care of family members. Additionally, it serves to preserve the culture passed down by ancestors forever. Next slide, please. Next up, I will be discussing the uniqueness architecturally of the Gadang house. One of the most striking features of the Gadang house is the roof. The roof is pointed like buffalo horns, and the shape of the building also resembles a ship. The wooden pillars used to build the house are also not connected with nails, and it only relies on wooden pegs to prevent it from collapsing during an earthquake. The windows are also not straight or symmetrical, and each house has a rangkyang, or a granary, that is used to store food or other cooked products. The house also do not face the road, and the pillars are beautifully decorated with carvings of plants, animals, and everyday objects. Next slide, please. On the next house, we will be moving over to our neighbor, which is Malaysia. We'll be talking about the Rumah Panjang Sarawak, or in English, we'd call it a longhouse. These longhouses are primarily found in Sarawak, Malaysia, serving as communal homes for several families or clan members of the Dayak tribe. These houses hold a cultural symbolism, which is that beyond shelter, they also become a center for social activities, culture practices, and also traditional ceremonies of the Dayak people. It also represents their identity and pride. Next slide, please. These houses are pretty unique in that they are structurally typically long and narrow, with a curved roof made from thatch or wooden shingles, and their materials are constructed from strong, durable hardwood, like ironwood, and also walls woven from rattan or bamboo. These houses also serve as a gathering place for meetings and discussions and religious or social rituals, so they actually serve multifunctional. Not only they serve those functions, they also serve as housing for people inside them. Okay, next slide, please. We'll be hopping back into Indonesia with the Tongkonan house. The Tongkonan house is the traditional house of the Toraja people in the South Sulawesi province. These houses function as a symbol of social status and signifies the status and authority of the family within the Toraja community. Tongkonan in their language means to sit together, reflecting its role as a communal gathering place. Next slide, please. These houses are pretty unique in that the houses only consist of one room without any partitions between spaces. There's also a series of buffalo horns on the main pillar, arranged in a row from top to bottom, with the number of horns indicating the sacrifices made during family burial ceremonies. The roof resembles the shape of the boat and is made from layers of bamboo slats covered with palm fiber. The house always faces north, which is associated with the direction of the creator or their god. The material used in this building mostly consists of bamboo and wood. Fun fact, the Tongkonan is also known as original work from people of Tanah Toraja. The architecture of the traditional Tongkonan building in Tanah Toraja is the original work of architecture as it is. It is known purely as an architecture by the people of Tanah Toraja. From the next part of the slide, or the next half of the slide, I will be handing it off to my colleague, which is Siti Aulia Zulfa. To my colleague, please take the stage.
Okay, thank you to Andre. Now I'm gonna be talking about one of the traditional house that came from Malaysia. So the house I'll be talking is Rumah Peranakan Baba dan Nyonya. These houses are primarily found in historic areas of cities like Malacca and Penang in Malaysia. The philosophies behind this house is that this house is a cultural integration that reflects some cultural from Chinese and Malay ethnicities with European influence evident in their architecture and decor. As you can see in this one model that this house also known as a heritage building, one of the heritage building in Malaysia. It's also known for its Art Nouveau style that came from European around the early time. The next I'm going to be talking about the uniqueness of this house. So the first one is this house are a mixed architecture. So they blend Chinese, Malay, and European architectural elements, featuring intricate wood carving, ceramic tiles, and vibrant color. You can see here that they use both vibrant color inside the building for its interior and also its exterior. The next one is its rich interior decor. So it often are adorned with elaborate furniture, jewelry, and artwork that reflect the lifestyle and aesthetic preference of the Peranakan culture. The next one is its distinctive layout. So it's typically centered around a courtyard or open spaces, surrounded by rooms designed for dining, living, and sleeping purposes. The next one is a Honai house that come from Indonesia. So Honai house is a typical Papuan house. Even though it's a typical one, just like I said, it's not like you can find this house everywhere around Papua. So it can only be found in the Dani tribe, precisely in the Baliem Valley, Jaya Wijaya Regency, Papua. The philosophy behind this house is to maintaining the unity of fellow tribesmen, as well as maintaining the culture that has been passed down by the ancestors. As you can see that this house has a pretty unique shape and structure. It has a round shape with a conical snap-thatched roof, and the material mostly used in this building are materials that came from nature, such as wood, straw, and rotan. The next one is its dual function. So this house serves as both a dwelling and a communal meeting place. The next one is its height and windowless building. You can see that there's no window here, right? So it was made windowless so it could maintain a warmth in this house, because most of these houses are made to withstand the cold mountains of Papua. Honai usually built as high as 2.5 meters, and in the middle of the house they prepared a place to make a fire to warm themselves. The next one is its interior layout. So this house is divided into sleeping areas and storage spaces. The last one, this house has a cultural symbol that represent the cultural identity and communal values of the Dani people. The last one is a traditional house that came from Malaysia. So these houses are predominantly found in coastal regions of Malaysia, such as Malacca, Negeri Sembilan, and some areas in Selangor. The philosophy behind Rumah Limas is that this house embody Malay cultural values designed to accommodate tropical climates and the needs to extended families living together. In this house, they have a pretty unique architecture. The first one, they featured steeply pitched roof with layered construction, often thatched with coconut leaves or corrugated metal sheet, and the steep roof pitch facilitates efficient rainwater drainage. The second one is the architecture in Rumah Limas emphasize aspect of ventilation, lighting, and security. So this house mostly designed and built with the focus of the circulation of light and air inside the house. The last one is this house are built quite high above the ground to avoid flood during rain season and wild animals in the night. Remember to appreciate nature's beauty, respect local custom, and be gentle with the earth wherever your journey takes you. And that's all from us, Group 6. Thank you for your attention. See you!